What is happening? Welcome to another pitcher video breakdown. My name is Nick Pollock, and today we're going to talk about Sandy Alcantara. We have to do this, and he just had the start against the White Sox. You thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be really good. And honestly, it kind of was really good for 5 innings, and then the 6th was just ridiculous, and I can't believe they let him in for as long as he can. But that's not the point of this. I want to showcase the 3rd inning because these are the struggles of Sandy Alcantara, all right? So let's watch this. That's a 94-mile-per-hour stinker, and honestly, he's supposed to be throwing that 96, 97, but that's just a weird one. I'm not going to talk about that. There we go, 96, good. Throwing strikes, that's a lovely thing. Dig that. There's a 92-mile-per-hour sinker. That's not a sinker. That's actually the changeup. And this is what he did a lot all day, this was not an effective changeup. This changeup's supposed to be a 60% strike rate pitch. It's the pitch that really makes Alcantara sing, because you have this 96 and 97 mile per hour four-seamer that is just constantly battering the zone and moves a ton and all of that. But then this changeup that just looks like it's the same thing that comes in super hard and then goes underneath, right? You saw how much drop that thing just had. But if you go 4 for 16 strikes on that pitch, 25%, it's not going to work out. So you got to throw the slider, and the slider honestly has been something that he's moved on from. Actually might not have been the slider, it might have been the curve at 87, just so you know. Because the curve has been more of his pitch as of late, which I am here for, but you need that slider at 90, 91 to then add to it, right? It needs to be this multiple layers of pitches, while the curve itself is not really this massive, filthy pitch. That's a cool four-seamer up and in. Way to get that out. That's cool, Sandy. Let's see what else you got. You can't miss that far. I mean, look also where the glove is. This is trying to be outside, and he's flying open with his glove, and it's going over here. Not really his glove, his whole shoulder thing. That was just not good, right? And those kind of pitches, they add up, you know? They do create these deeper counts over time. So, oh my gosh, that is such a defensive swing, Taylor. You don't need to make that kind of defensive swing. You don't want to make contact. If you make contact, it probably will be an out if you're beat that badly. Just survive at 1-2 instead, you know? At least you get a chance. And that's just a hanging curveball. Right? Like this is kind of what I'm getting at. Like right now, you see him so messed up about that. You might want to, play with that. You have a change coming in. He's looking for a fastball. So now he's thinking, well, 1-2. Generally, you do throw a breaking ball. So he's probably ready for it. I would probably mess around and throw the fastball over here. But this is just not a good curve. His put-away pitches, the change-up, the curve, slider are not really put-away pitches. So he allows a hit. That's just a bad pitch. And there you go. There you have the 97 again miss. This is going to add up now. Gets that call, but it's the same. I mean, both of these are like the same problem, right? That's up and in. You get this, but that's just encouragement. That's just a nice catch. Like, hey, cool, stay with me. You got this. That's not really actually applause for that pitch. There's a nice curve. That's at 83. That one. I love this one. This is the curve that I really wish that Sandy Alcantara can feel more instead of the 87 variety. And yes, I am saying that even though they called it a slider before. It really is that, and the slider should be at 90. It's this weird range and stuff. Don't worry about it. That's a sinker backdoor at 98, and that's fine. You don't want this up. Why? Because you're going to be late on this pitch, especially at 1-2. And if you're late, that means you're going to be pushing opposite direction, which means that you are going to be away anyway. It's easier to adjust late and put the ball in play when it's flat up here as opposed to down here. This is going to be on the ground probably for a double play to first if he makes contact with this one. But if it's upstairs like that, then you get a chance, you stay alive, you foul it off, etc. And there's a curve that's a strike at 88, and that's a good curve because it's out of the zone. You get the strike out there. That's a good one because it's not over the plate like it was to Taylor. Away. He also kind of wants to protect the guy. Also really tunnels well off of that sinker coming back. So I love that one. Sinker away, no. Change up. And the thing is, that's a really good one, you would think. But because this was a ball, he's going to be more passive. And also this here is better for whiffs later than early because this is the more tempting one early and this isn't. That's coming back from out in here. So you're probably just going to take it. And again, 2-0 changeup can't get it to happen, right? And I get 2-0 changeup because you're confident that that is the pitch that would get an out in this scenario where you're 2-0. If he does swing, make contact, like that's an out, and that's what you want. You want to get away from these 2-0 counts. You don't want to extend to 3 more pitches for a strikeout. You want to end it. but you got to throw it for a strike. Now it's 3-0. Oh, you don't get the call, sure. I don't get upset at things like this because it's like it's 3-0. You put yourself in this scenario. Like, yeah, you want that strike. You really do normally get it at 3-0. Umpires are more inclined to not give the edges this year because they made the mistake rate from 2 inches off to 0.75. So now they're even more careful about calling that strike outside the zone. Like right at the edge on the edges. So there's a curve in the dirt. Okay, you don't get a strike there. Then you get a fastball up at 98. This is great. I'm fine with this. And it also looks like a double steal and everything. And Vaughn, I'm just going to say, do you think that they were dead to rights? And is that your pitch? I don't know. All these decisions you got to make as a hitter. It's tough. 1-1 here. You swing in that fastball pure. This would be a change at backdoor that'd be really effective, or a breaking ball down and away. Let's see what we get. And that's a hung curve. And it's like, you got lucky. A, because you missed completely, and this was just like, oh gosh. But it went in a place that isn't middle of the plate. And also, there's no way an ump is calling this a strike. And the fact that Vaughn gave you a strike out of that is just okay. It also means that if he was going for a fastball, he probably wouldn't have swung at that one. So I'm thinking you go fastball. Oh, and you just tuck a curve a lot. Okay, well, don't do that. Don't do that. And you go fastball, and that's inside here, and Vaughn tugs it. Now, if you notice, this actually really isn't a bad pitch, and it's on the ground. You don't know the outcome of it yet. But you do notice where the glove was. He's standing up. And that makes all the sense, because we know that Vaughn wants to swing at this. You know, he's going to swing at that. And he is fastball hunting, probably. Or not, he wasn't, because of this. We laid off this curve. The thing is, you just saw this curve here and this curve here. Like, you know that Alcantara is probably not throwing that curve again, which is likely what Vaughn did. He's sitting heater now. You want to get it upstairs. You can probably blow by him. And get it low enough that he can get it through the hole. And that's going to be a run. So that's the makings of a run there, right? That's not bad defense behind him. That's not Alcantara pitching to his best. Really, the problem with that one was the 2 curveballs before that were just way, mistakes. Curveball away, doesn't get that one. Sinker middle of the plate. And Theis wants this one back because this is a mistake all the way through. A lot of lefties will just bring this down the line. He pushes it to left. It's a lazy can of corn. And I'm not seeing a dominant Alcantara, right? Where I'm not seeing these swings that just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I swung at that one. I'm not rolling over things like I normally would. He's not demanding success across at bats, right? He's not carving them up surgically. But the stuff is there, you can see. He's throwing hard. Like, he's still somewhat hard to hit, right? You can see how close this is. The curveball, I like that he's working it in. I don't really think it's this magical pitch. I think it should be something that works with the changeup, with the slider, as opposed to that is the breaking ball I have. And so we'll see. We'll see if he can get that command back. He certainly has the tools already from there. It's just a matter of, honestly, just needing more reps at this point. So I believe that he will get there at some point this year. And that is it for this video breakdown. My name is Nick Pollock. Make sure you subscribe, of course, and get out of here.